I am so happy and excited to introduce you all to Andrew Smith, a really dear friend of ours. Andrew has a background in systems and software engineering. And Andrew was telling me, in the beginning of his career, he got along better with computers than with people. And he really started transitioning into people-oriented way of working, which I just absolutely love. And how do people work together efficiently and effectively? And something he said to me that I really liked was the biggest barrier to effective creation and how we use technology is how people work together or don't work together.
Mm,
So that's the area he's exploring right now.
yeah, wow. And actually, not exploring, right? Andrew has an incredible amount of experience in the last several years in helping major companies in the US find their way to a more humane and productive and collective and connected workplace.
Mm.
So, and for, sorry, lots of allergies today. And for our team at Turning the Wheel, he brings that engineering expertise right home and helps us figure out every crazy technical thing we have to work out. Well, welcome, Andrew. We're really
Thank
glad
you.
you're here.
All right, glad to be here.
And so we thought we would, in honor of Andrew, because he says his relationships with computers, but how we know Andrew is one of the most playful people that we've ever interacted with in all of our organizational gatherings and in our summer retreats and in our uh, dance times together, whatever they are. Boy, that wasn't coming in very easy, was it? Thank you all. So yeah, just play. What does it mean to play? So, I mean, I guess I could give you one statistic that might encourage you to get up and play with us today, which is it takes 400 repetitions for the brain to create a new synapse. And unless you're playing, and if you're playing, it takes 10 to 20 repetitions. I mean, that's a fairly big gap, right? 400 to 10 to 20 in terms of how efficient the brain becomes when we are in. And I think Abby and I were talking before, what does play mean? It means we're feeling good, that we feel at peace, we feel content, we feel like we're seen, we feel good about our lives. All of that is what creates an efficient brain. So how about we play a little together, and then we'll come back and talk some more about that with Andrew, and he gets some of his wisdom for us today. Does that feel okay?
Let's do it.
All right. I just wish I had some fabulous music to put on. Abby, maybe you should play something on one of your wonderful crazy music things. But let's just begin by getting up and shaking our body out a little bit. So this is what Katie Hendricks calls wiggling. Just wiggle, 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 wiggle. It's such a great way to get into your body, and sighing a little bit, ha, 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 some out loud sound, yeah. And then
Ah,
just ground for a moment and let your breath come all the way down as you exhale. Ride that breath into your body. Ride that exhale right down into your body. And let's start with a little waves. So just become the ocean, anything that means to you, the rhythm of the waves, the movement of the waves. I like to make it with my arms, but you might just move in a wave-like way through your room, or feel the sense of the ocean moving your body gently through space. What does it mean to become the ocean, to become the waves? Let them enter your deep belly body and come out through your arms or your legs or your torso. I am the ocean. I'm already feeling better this morning, all that technology stress. And just keep going a little with your own waving, waving, waving. Maybe you wave with your leg, or wave with your head, or wave with your elbows. Or maybe you just do whatever you're doing. And if you begin to feel a little breathy, you can pause and become a lake. And just feel that still waters of the lake, where there's that movement underneath, but on the surface, it's peaceful. It's got the sunlight reflecting off it, and it's got a sense of peace about it. Yeah, that lake. And then if you're ready, you might decide to be a rushing river in the mountains, or you might stay being a lake, or you might go back to the ocean. But for some of you, if you have energy this morning, you might rush down the mountainside, over the rocks, around and through the pathways that the rivers find, down in the little eddies and crevices, and letting the fish jump up out of the water and feel that sense of rushing, rushing, rushing water. And then you might jump onto the side of the river and let yourself be a tree, a stillness of the tree, and feel your roots deep in the earth and your branches reaching into the heavens. And maybe the winds are just slightly moving the branches of your tree, and always grounding that tree into the earth, where the network of tree roots support and love and care for each other and send energy to us up through our feet into our hearts. And maybe just come back to that still lake for a moment, and let our hands come to our hearts. And let's just breathe in through our hearts and out through our hearts as a way to come into contentment. The coherence of the heart rate begins to occur as soon as we begin to breathe through the heart field. And let your exhalation be just a little longer than your inhalation as you rest your playful body for a moment. As you exhale each time, ride the wave of that exhale down deeper into your body. Ah. And whenever you're ready, and come back to the computer. And I hope those of you who I know don't get up and run around, but do this while you're laying down, got to imagine the waves and imagine the lake and the rivers. Because remember, if we see it, if we visualize it, if we imagine it, it actually is happening in the neurological system of the body. I love that. Well, Abby, you want to take us into a little discussion?
Yeah, I would love to. Thank you. That definitely felt so good. I definitely needed that little play this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, Andrew, I would just love to hear from you how you incorporate play into your life.
Yeah, one of the interesting things is sometimes it's a challenge. I get caught up like everybody else. Yeah, get up and get to work and get in all the things. But um, I think one of the things, yeah, I actually really enjoy games with friends, and we visited some very good friends of ours this last weekend. Not this weekend, the one before, and we made some arrangements before showing up. Hey, we should play some games together. So we had so much fun. We played this uh, really fun game called Taco Cat Goat Cheese Pizza.
I love
And I know even the name, it's so silly. It's just this game about trying to get rid of all your cards, be the first person to get rid of all your cards. But the rules make it really fun because if you lay down the gorilla card, for example, you have to beat your chest and then put your hand down on the cards. Yeah.
Oh,
So,
I like that.
I know. I know. Uh, so just that, getting
Games.
together with people and playing together is such a beautiful way of being. Um, so yeah, that's really fun. Um, one of the things, a long-time hobby of mine is photography, and
Mm.
I brought my camera to the summer retreat over and over again. But there's a sense of play there too. One of the things that digital
Yeah.
photography freed up for me is, it didn't matter if I took 100 pictures of a leaf. Yeah. It's like it's like, oh, what would it look like if you put it from this angle, or
Yeah.
um, if you change the color that way, right? And so that's an element of play too. You're sort of exploring something. What could this be
Mm.
like if we
Mm.
did something different with it?
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
Photography, that's such a great one.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think Abby and I were talking before, Andrew, that the definition of play can be very broad. It's what brings
Oh
you
yeah,
to joy or peace. And
yeah,
Andrew just put two things on the table. One is playing games, which I love and haven't done for a long time, and the other is art. Pursuing your
mhm.
creative endeavors is
Oh
very
yeah.
playful. I mean, I was trying to think because Abby and I was saying, what did I do for play this week? It was like, gosh, I don't know if I did any play this week. It was like, here we are talking about and preaching about and bringing play to the earth. And am I playing? Am I paying attention to that? And I realized that my painting is with the colors and the waters and the washes. That is play. But the other thing I realized that Andrew brought in, which I think is really important, is we need other people often in order to play. That's partly how play happens is community. Yeah,
Mm.
very important. Abby, what about you?
Yeah, I love that. So I've been going to Zumba every week, which has been a big fun playtime. But I love that you said the community piece because that's why I love going to this class so much, is being with this group of women and all of us just dancing and, not having a care in the world and just being together and dancing. It's just so lovely.
Wow, that's such a great example. Yeah, there's lots of different movement modalities you can do like that. And I mean, sometimes I think of yoga, my yoga as play, but it's different. It's more of an internal quiet, and it does, bring me into a peaceful place, but it's not quite the same as the sort of running around in the room being a river.
Well,
Well,
that's interesting you bring up the yoga, Elena. My longtime yoga teacher from Cedar Rapids is just one of the most playful people I know, and she brings that into her yoga classes. So you'll find yourself doing goofy stuff and laughing in the middle of the yoga class. It's great.
oh, I love hearing that, Andrew. I mean, I feel like I'm afraid to speak if I'm in a yoga class. You're supposed to be quiet and reverent. I love that she's breaking that story up.
Right.
That's really
Yeah.
special. Yeah. Well, anything else either of you think of to help our listeners bring play into their lives?
Hmm.
Well, one of the things that's brings me back to the introduction you gave me and the work that I've been doing in terms of uh, people working together. Uh, can you when you're working together to solve a problem, to create something, can you bring your spirit of play into that?
Mm,
Can you play with the ideas? Uh,
mm,
and the idea, idea twice there, but the idea of that is that sense of playing together with an idea makes us safe to be more creative, to bring new ideas in that you're not filtering out. You know, the ideas that you're like, well, okay, nobody's going to like this idea. Well, can you, if you have that spirit of play as you're playing with the ideas, well, maybe you get something new out that you wouldn't have come up with.
Mm.
Oh, that's beautiful. It's like brainstorming as play,
Yes,
and
yes.
yeah, I love that. I love that. That's a great piece of wisdom for all of us. I mean, we're going to be finishing up a grant this week, so let's see if we can make it playful,
I
Abby.
I was just thinking the same thing. I want to commit this week to doing that in our work. Yeah.
Yeah, letting the creativity flourish. And
Yeah.
that's what Andrew's talking about. If anything that comes up can come up, then the options get huge, right?
Yeah. I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Well, before we close, I just do want to say that I think during this time that is so challenging for all of us, our own lives and our friends' lives and our friends' lives, it's impacting so many people, and that together is one of the most important things. One of our guests last week every Kiri is bringing people together for dinner every Sunday evening. Just think, it doesn't have to be that. I think marching is good. I think protesting is good. I'm definitely not opposed to that. But the value of coming together in community and nurturing each other and sharing food and playing together as we navigate these times, so that we keep radiating that vibrational energy out onto the earth that has a lot of healing power in it, for sure. And so maybe this week everybody could think about one more playful thing they're going to add into their week this week. So as you enter the week, maybe just going to a movie is play for you, and you haven't done that in the theater for a while, or maybe a concert, is a play, something, it could be in the arts, and it could be that you just take a skipping walk in the sunshine. So yeah, thank you. Thank you all for listening, and thank you, Andrew, so much for being with us today. I love the wisdom of creative work. Very important addition. Mwah. All right. Take care, everybody. Have a great week playing.
All right.
Yeah. Feel free to put in the comments what you're going to do for play this week, everyone.